Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Coming at you live after one hell of a, well, we'll just wrap it all into one hell of a weekend in professional wrestling. And we're going to cover a little bit of everything, but I'm not alone tonight. I got my buddy, my brother from another mother, Mr. CM Stylez tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Like you said, it's been one hell of a weekend, and the week is still going because we got more wrestling to talk about tomorrow. Tonight, we just experienced 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, the Raw after Mania. And, of course, we had WrestleMania last night, and then the night before NXT TakeOver, which I talked about. And I got to say, it was a good weekend to be a wrestling fan, but there was other things going on. Lucha Underground versus TNA or Impact Wrestling. You know, you had ROH Supercard, which had a lot of network issues, and I'm glad I didn't watch it because I'd want my money back. But a lot of independent wrestling was out in town and making their money. And of course, I kept hearing people say, "Oh, they're just piggybacking off the WWE. Who gives a shit? They're making money. They're getting well known now." But, yeah, lots to talk about. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, you can call it piggybacking. You can call it whatever you want. But you know what, man? It's wrestling fans are wrestling fans. It doesn't matter what you like. It doesn't matter what you don't like. It's
Exactly.
As if I can quote Andre Corbeil, we're all in this for one thing, wrestling, you know? But I do want to give a quick mention that what one thing was disturbing tonight and yet hilarious at the same time. Just before I was about to set up and go live, my producer was also watching Monday Night Raw with me, and he kind of took a bump of his own. He is on the floor, folks. My producer, if I get the camera there over there.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he just, he heard that TNA chant during Raw, and he fell over. And I'm gonna have to. Looks like I'm gonna have to find a new producer. So yeah, Smash This Podcast is hiring, folks. Had to start it out with a chuckle. So, dude, yeah, we're gonna talk. I mean, we're gonna talk all WWE related stuff because I already reviewed House of Hardcore, Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk some NXT. We're gonna talk some. We're gonna talk some Mania. I'm not gonna get into all 36 matches.
Yeah, that was 7-hour stretch. That just wore me out.
And then there's also, everything from tonight. So what would I'm going to give the guest the choice. What would you like to start rapping about tonight, dude?
Let's start with what opened the whole entire WWE weekend with some NXT TakeOver New Orleans, baby.
That's a good idea, man. That's a damn good idea. Let me bring up the info.
The card?
Yeah, just as a refresher, because I've watched I think we all watched a stupid amount of wrestling this weekend, and I know I'm gonna forget something if I don't bring this up. So we'll hit the results notification here. Here we go. NXT Takeover NOLA, April 7th. And man, let's talk about, for me personally, this was my highlight. One of, I'd say this is top 3 highlights of the entire weekend. Is he still breathing? I don't know.
Give him CPR.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little afraid to. I don't focus. We had a 6-man ladder match. excuse me, for the brand new NXT North American Championship. Crazy. Watching two different shows in one night and two different championships getting crowned. That's a loaded evening, folks. Adam Cole defeating EC3, the Velveteen Dream, Lars Sullivan, Killian Dane, and Ricochet. Dude, how sick was this ladder match, man?
Dude, like I said on my podcast, I said it was an all-out war with just ladders here and there and lots of spots and lots of bumps. Poor EC3 of all people took 3 magnificent bumps. 2 of them had to be ladders, one going through it and one being squished by Adam Cole and Killian. It's just like, holy hell! I felt bad for a guy, Velveteen. I thought he was going to be carried or stretchered out of the arena because he took one sick bump outside the ring as well. This match was great. Lars Sullivan, he is a beast. Like they said, this guy has the body of an ape, and I would not want to wrestle this guy within 10 feet. I mean, this guy is just, he is a monster. He deserves to be in NXT. He deserves to be a champion. When that'll happen, I do not know. But all-around good match. Adam Cole, congratulations. You did it. You are an NXT North American champion, and I can't wait to see your first title defense.
Dude, his whole team also with yeah, they've got the NXT. I was gonna say they've got all the championships, but not all the championships. Almost majority. But his whole crew, man, between him, now Bobby Fish has a bum leg. I forget exactly what the injury is, but he came out on crutches to at least celebrate with the crew. Kyle O'Reilly went out there, and I'm kind of jumping around here, so just excuse me. And what shocked the crowd was Roderick Strong turning on Pete Dunne in that tag match and joining the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude. When I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. I was reading reports that it was supposed to be Pete Dunne that was going to turn on Roderick Strong. So creative got smart and swerved us, because they swerved us all weekend long, not just at NXT, but at WrestleMania as well. But we'll talk about WrestleMania in a little bit. But yeah, this match, you know, the triple threat tag team match for the NXT championship. Not only that, it was for the Dusty Rhodes Classic Memorial Championship as well, or the trophy. And the way it was finished, I was just like, oh my God, this is nuts.
Did you feel like the Dusty Classic got a little, I hate to use the term, but buried in the midst of the tag team match?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know they're paying homage to Dusty, but the way they did it was just like completely ass backwards.
Well, the part that didn't make sense to me, and I've heard other people comment on this too, so I'll throw my 2 cents in on it. I'm not just trying to copy anyone, but it's true. They had a team win, which obviously is going to put a lot of heat on the Undisputed Era, but they had a team win that wasn't even in the Dusty Classic, which, you know,
Yeah,
I think they should have kept it separate. Like they should have done the tag team class, the Dusty Tag Team Classic, like in the next set of tapings, maybe, and figure out the you know, whoever was going to get the tag team championship first. I think that's what they should have done. But, you know, it's all in the past now. Undisputed Era made history. Roderick Strong made the jump to a new stable. He's not just flying solo anymore, but he's such a good heel. And if you're unfamiliar with it, man, I watched him become one of the best heels in the company when he was in Ring of Honor. And man, he was a cocky little prick. He was so fun to watch. And he's over in NXT as a babyface just because of his talent and his reputation as a performer in the ring. But man, he gets to now show what he can do as a heel, charisma wise, along with his being a badass in the ring with Adam Cole and the boys.
Yeah. Now that he's with Adam Cole and, O'Reilly and Fish, I just can't wait to see what he's going to do, how much cockier he's going to be now. Like you said, in his ROH era, he was a cocky SOB there, and he brought it over to NXT for a while, but he was playing face really strong. And I really don't know how to process it. I'm just super excited because of it. So, Strong, if you're out there listening, keep doing what you're doing. Kick some ass. Show them who's boss. Undisputed Era, baby.
Yeah. And I got to say, I haven't been paying much attention to NXT, but I can tell you, man, looking at how stacked that roster is now, you got one of the best up-and-coming heels in the entire company, a homegrown. See, that's the thing. Everyone says that WWE can't make homegrown guys anymore. Lars,
yes, they can.
They may not make as many as they used to, but let me tell you, man, when they hit that little success button and something catches, Lars Sullivan is, and I know I've talked about him before, and I'll talk about him from now till Kingdom Come. He is by far, and I say his scariness completely surpasses Braun Strowman now. Braun Strowman went from bringing down huge girders from buildings on top of other wrestlers like Kane and Brock Lesnar to, I'm going to pick a kid out of a crowd and have a Mania moment. I'm not saying Braun Strowman is ruined. He's still a beast. But Mania kind of tweaked that a little bit. I think people are still shaking their heads. Tonight was funny, though, when they relinquished the tag team titles.
Yeah.
And he's like, my partners got scheduling conflicts. He's like, I laughed so hard. I was like, I wonder how they're going to do this. People all over social media are like, oh, he's going to fail a drug test or a wellness test or something. It's like, he's 10 years old. That's a horrible joke. It's like,
Phil for popping too many Flintstone vitamins.
Oh, God. Poor kid's got to take a blood test and sign a waiver. But, no, seriously, Lars Sullivan is terrifying. And this event, that ladder match, along with, everyone, 5 stars for all 6 guys. Seriously, they all put their bodies on the line. And I think the most bittersweet part of it, as amazing as it was seeing Ricochet debut, because I, along with so many others, were such a fan of him in Lucha Underground. And to see him debut, and I know he did great things in New Japan and stuff, but for a guy that, barely watches it, only like big events, to see him debut on a stage like this was like, man, I almost got choked up. I was so happy for him. But it was weird, It was so weird. What'd you think of seeing Ricochet? He just about died in that flipping match. What'd you think of him, dude?
Oh, God. Like, I've seen his performance before when he was Prince Puma, and he was extreme then, and he's still extreme now. I can tell a little bit of a difference from his his NXT work compared to his independent scene work. I mean, he's working a little bit lighter, less stiff, but he's still an outstanding performer. I still enjoyed his work. That little flip that he did off of the ladder that Lars was pretty much shuffling him outside the ring for.
Oh, he did that a couple times, dude. It was
Yeah,
his first move of the match.
was
He
a
jumped off.
it was a somersault or a top rope planche or something. I forget what it was, but we'll just call it a suicide dive.
Yeah, yeah. I think WWE probably had to pay about $1 million worth of Louisiana sports commission fines.
Oh, tell me about it, because there was blood in that match. Lars bladed. He took a shot in the air and it was cut open. When I saw the gloves come out, I was like, "Oh, cut the black and white."
Yeah,
But
he got. Where did he get cut? He got cut somewhere.
it looked like it was in his ear from the way that the blood was tracing. I mean, I'm no scientist or anything
Oh,
like that.
that's right. It was on the side of his head. Yeah, probably
Yeah.
his ear got busted from getting nicked or something. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, more than likely he did it to himself because he stuck his head between the ladders and he was doing all that crazy shit with it. And I'm like, oh my God, he's taking everybody out with ladder shots and he's probably doing some damage to himself. But
Oh yeah, that was flipping cuckoo.
that match was all out war, man.
It was great also to see EC3 debut in there, but nonetheless, oh, and I don't want to leave Killian Dane out. I just we don't see him quite as much, but it was great for him to see him blasted back and forth when Killian Dane, and then we'll move on after I mention this because I don't want to talk about this match all night, although I could.
Yeah, me too.
When Killian Dane and Lars Sullivan were playing catch with Ricochet,
Mm.
I was like, they're going to kill him in his first match, man.
They just want to see how well he can handle it in the big leagues.
Oh my god, that's a rough way to do it. But yeah, this whole match, top to bottom, was just crazy. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I saw on Twitter talking about best ladder match I ever saw. I mean, it's yeah, I'll put it up there. It makes me want to go watch some old school TLC matches. Oh man. So we saw Shayna Baszler defeat Ember Moon and become the new NXT Women's Champion. Skip ahead 2 evenings to tonight, and we get Ember Moon debut on Monday Night Raw. Now, I heard a lot of people say that they weren't a big fan of this match between Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler. I think the match was okay. It's just they had a different kind of chemistry. They told a different kind of story. I think Shayna Baszler, continue this sentence for me.
So, all right. So what you're saying is they have great chemistry together. It is kind of different from what you see between Ember Moon and other, talents. You have Shayla Baszler with the MMA style background, where you have Ember Moon, who's basically a high flyer of some sort, and she works very technical in the ring. These two put on one hell of a clinic. Not only that, you got to see the so-called dislocation of Shayna's left shoulder popped out of place, and then she popped it back into place, ramming it into a ring post.
A la Lethal Weapon. What the hell's his name? Mel Gibson. A la Mel Gibson. That was sick.
But yeah, she did a good job at selling that injury and using it towards her advantage to apply her chokehold at the end. And she was doing it with one arm. She stiffed that choke. I was like, no way. And it forced Ember to submit. And or not even submit. She literally passed out. As soon as I saw, Baszler win the title, I pretty much could have told you that was Ember Moon's call up to the main roster.
Yeah, I had no doubt about that. Just knowing her talent, you know. And I think this match between her and Shayna Baszler was better out of the two. But like I said, it told a different story.
Yeah,
And
they have a nice little history.
yeah. And it's Shayna Baszler is going to be forced to be reckoned with. She's just very different in her style and just everything about her. Um, as far as, I mean, there's all sorts of women in NXT and the WWE, period, top to bottom. You know, from the bottom of the card to the top, from from Dakota Kai all the way up to Asuka or Charlotte. You know, they're all different. They all have their talents. They all have their different charismas, different move sets, and that's what makes this evolving women's division, excuse me, so awesome. So congrats to Shayna Baszler and congrats to Ember Moon on her debut on Monday Night Raw. Now with the what do they call that? Superstar shakeup happening next week over the course of 2 days. Who knows where, people are going to end up. Be interesting. We also had a new champion in the match between Aleister Black. We talked about the tag team match.
And Almas.
So I'm just skipping over that a little bit. But yeah, Aleister Black versus Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship.
Yes.
This was a hell of a match. This is not the first time we've seen these two either. Aleister Black making his debut last year against Almas. And that's when I think a lot of people kind of dismissed Almas as like he's just going to be another guy in NXT that just, he's a decent worker, but he's going to end up just, jobbing to everyone. And I don't know where it transformed. I think putting Zelina Vega with him was a huge changing point. What did you think about this part 2 for these guys at NXT Takeover?
Well, seeing how I missed part 1, for a fact, I haven't watched the network in a while. I didn't know the history between these two, but after watching this match right here, I won't be surprised if they do one more with each other, meaning Almas is going to win his rematch clause.
Oh, at the next set of tapings? Yeah, that could very well be.
To the next, whatever their next pay-per-view is going to be, our special event. That's right. Everything's on the network now, so it's no longer pay-per-view. Yeah, good job, Vince. You succeeded in that one. Saved me $59.99. Now I can watch everything for just $9.99. But this match between these two, it was just insane. I never thought I'd see a guy that's like 6 foot do jumps outside of the ring over the top rope, leaping onto his opponent. I've never judged a wrestler by their look and size before the way I have with this guy, but holy shit, Aleister Black is a beast.
He is. He's so lethal. You want to talk about a dose of strong style besides, the British invasion, if you will, to, NXT every once in a while from the UK. Jeez Louise. Yeah, Black's moveset is just badass. And
there's no one like him. I'm sorry. There isn't. And his intro coming out to the ring, the way he pops up out of the grave, he's like the new Undertaker.
It is. It's like a new, I don't know, just a new, 0.20 whatever version of it. Do you think, Now, we saw a lot of debuts and returns tonight on Monday Night Raw. Almas was not one of them. Do you think we're going to see him along with a couple others tomorrow night? Or I should say, are you hoping to see him?
I would like to see him show up on SmackDown. He's too big for 205 Live, so I wouldn't expect to see him there unless they make an exception to certain weight. But it'd be great to see him on a SmackDown roster. I mean, they can use another cocky heel, and that's exactly how he would be, known throughout his career.
Yeah, and they got to put Zelina Vega with him.
Yeah, a mouthpiece. If not, then he's just going to be, another diamond in the rough.
Yeah, and she pays dividends for him too. It's big time. And that's something that, and I've said for years now, it's just lacking all over the place. It's something you don't see much anymore, is the value of a good manager, be it male or female. In this case, she's a very strong woman. I mean, she may be 4 foot nothing or whatever, but man, when she moves out there and she needs to get a job done for her man, and make sure that Almas keeps his championship. Now, she was not successful this last round, but several times before that, we saw her bust her ass to make sure Almas, did well and got the win. She's got to debut with him.
Yeah. Well, like I said, let's see what happens in NXT first. Let's see if Almas wants his rematch against Black to try to regain his title. And if he doesn't, make it a loser leaves NXT style match. Kind of like what they did with Gargano.
Yeah, they could do that.
Which was another good match, by the way. You can't skip that one.
Oh no, I'm not skipping it. I don't think I was invested in this going into this as much as I was the first match, the ladder match. But remembering how big this feud was and how long this feud has gone on. They said 300 some odd days this feud or this story has gone on between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. And the backstory to it is awesome as well. It goes all the way back to the Cruiserweight Classic. And yeah, and just and loving how much Tommaso Ciampa, who's a hometown guy. He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And he's become like the biggest heel in NXT.
Oh God, yeah.
It's crazy. He didn't even have entrance music. I mean, you know how much entrance music can fire up a crowd, get you ready for that next guy, girl, whoever coming out and, waiting for that pop. Tommaso Ciampa came out, trench coat, to fuck you, Ciampa. Like 14,000 people screaming that as he came out to no music. It was just the most amazing thing I've ever heard. As weird as that sounds, I mean, to hear someone, from your hometown be over that much, I say, I mean, it would be obviously on the opposite spectrum. I'd say he was more over this year than last year's Austin Aries.
Yeah, I mean, Aries was over, but my God, I've never seen someone as over as, these two men. Um, when you come out to a theme song or when you come out to an entrance where there's no theme music, uh, and you got the crowd reacting instead of hearing music, that's what you call nuclear heat. I've never seen a crowd that hostile since Vicky Guerrero and X-Pac.
Yeah, yeah, and I've been there. I've been there live for a Vicky Guerrero. One of the most memorable times in the BMO Harris Bradley Center is when she had that promo with Ziggler and Cena in the ring, and the building basically booed Vicky out of the ring. It was deafening. I mean, I had to hold my wife back. It was ridiculous. Uh, so yeah, to be there live for something as crazy loud as that is just nuts. But props to both guys. That match was just sick, and I really didn't care. I mean, I assumed Gargano was going to lose so that he could end up going to 205 Live, but he won.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in NXT any longer, even though he won that match. I wouldn't be surprised if he does get the call up to 205. I think this was just redemption for what Ciampa has done to Gargano, and the story with Candice LeRae getting involved that made it even more dramatic at the end. I mean, if you saw the pre-show kickoff where she was getting interviewed by, I think it was Renee Young.
Yeah.
The way she was trying her hardest not to sell this whole thing. But she made it very dramatic, and I was just like, wow, the silence coming out of her, that just said it all. So I gotta say hats off to both of these guys. And if you paid attention to Ciampa's face, his right eye was swollen shut, kind of like Johnny Gargano's smiley face.
Oh, at the end there, yeah, that was ugly. Is this? No, that's not him. I was trying to find a tweet from Tommaso Ciampa. He put out a tweet somewhere within the last I don't know, day or so, saying something to the effect of "I'll haunt you everywhere you go." So that makes me feel like, okay, if Gargano does end up going to the main roster, Ciampa's going with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. That would be one hell of a continuing feud. But where can they really go from there? They pretty much just did a hardcore match. Gargano had to sign a waiver, a contract that they were not responsible for what happens to him in this match. I really don't know what they could do. I mean, you can treat it like it's Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn or Generico versus Steen. These two are destined to fight each other forever. As much as I want to see it all the time, I want it to be special occasions. I don't want to see it every Wednesday night on NXT or Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't know what the go home thing for this is. Gargano got his job back on NXT. Where this goes from here, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't. But I'm excited to see what happens, because I'm definitely going to be watching NXT a lot more often. I mean, Adam Cole's got the new championship. A lot of people are going to be hunting him down. I can't wait to see more of what Ricochet does, assuming he didn't completely kill himself that night, because he took some insane bumps. Just bravo to everyone. Trips everyone involved in NXT for that show. just an absolute sick evening. I mean,
Yeah.
they truly had a follow that attitude to their show. Like, hey, follow that Mania. I mean, Mania is really a different monster. Because you got so many different hands involved. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's shift gears. You want to talk about Mania for a little bit?
Sure, let's do that.
All right. Let me bring up the results here. A lot of title changes. Was a little surprised at all the title changes because they don't always do that. Sometimes they just play it safe and just do wins, losses, whatever. And I don't remember what you picked for this, but were you keeping track of your predictions in this?
Honestly, I wasn't, because there was just too much excitement going on.
I kept track of most of mine, and I can tell you, I didn't do real good, man. I got for
Everything
the
was reversed. They reversed everything, and I was just like, wow, the betting odds shifted that night. So everyone that put their money on these matches, I'm guaranteed they lost a lot of money on a fixed sport.
Yeah, and it is because I was wrong. It didn't wreck my night, and I know a lot of people they make predictions and they go, well, if it wasn't booked the way I book it, then it was a shit show. No, I mean overall, I think Mania was good. It was very entertaining. It was, I think, a couple moments in the evening made people scratch their heads, especially in the last hour of the show. But yeah, let's talk about this. Go over a couple of the things here. Did you watch the cruiserweight?
Oh, between Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander?
Yes.
Oh my god, dude, that was like kickoff match of the evening.
Yeah, and it's a shame it was on the kickoff show, but I look at it like this. I've come to the realization that if you have a match at Mania, on the pre-show or on the main card, you made it to the dance. Period.
Yes, exactly.
Be happy, be thankful, take pride in that.
Yeah. I mean, did you see how excited Cedric Alexander was? He was in the ring screaming at Ali, "We're at WrestleMania, baby!" I mean, when you hear that, that made me proud of both of these guys. They have achieved a dream that not many cruiserweights can, dream of. But near the end of the match, Ali kind of felt a little heelish. The way he was presenting himself, telling Cedric to stay down and everything, like he was going to put a beat down on him and finish him with another 450 splash, which he failed at. But then Alexander, he quickly recovered from all that and pin attempt him, and I forget how he gave him the lumbar check. That's what it was.
Yeah, he basically broke him in half, very similar to what Roderick Strong does. One of the killer moves in his arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a solid match from start to finish, and I can't wait for WrestleMania to come out in Blu-ray because I might get this one, especially since I missed the last 2 hours of the show. But I caught the highlights today on WWE.com. So,
well, you better start talking to him because last year the cruiserweight match on the pre-show did not make it on.
well, I think this year it's going to be put on the DVD. Well, not the DVD. See, there was a difference. The DVD didn't get as much content because of space. Blu-ray is a dual-layer disc up to 50 to 100 gigs of data that you can slap every match onto it. So there's your history lesson today, folks. A DVD can hold up 9 gigs, and it's all compressed.
There you go. Well, let's hope. I mean, they deserve to be on there. No matter what format it is. I don't care if it's a VCR tape, for crying out loud.
I'll download the digital if they ever make one. But then again, you're like, why download the digital when you can watch it on a network for just $9.99?
Exactly. It's always at your fingertips right there. Hell yeah. So yeah, props to both these guys from Mustafa Ali, who started out as an extra in the Cruiserweight Classic, and Cedric Alexander, who made it into the finals pretty much and ended up with a crowd's telling Triple H to sign him. I distinctly remember that and the look on Cedric Alexander's face, and it wasn't long after that they both ended up on 205 Live, and I was so happy for both of them. So this has been a long 1.5 year road for these two, and probably, I'm probably going to be one of the few guys talking as much as we are about this match, but I was vested in this because 205 Live has completely done a 180 as far as the quality of matches and content on that show. So, this is like the start over point for that brand, that show, with a new guy, Drake Maverick, at the helm. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. So,
or there's only one person we could thank for that: Enzo Amore. Thanks, Enzo, for getting yourself fired. Now 205 Live is better than ever.
I hope he's okay though, because he is, as lousy as people may say he is in the ring, he didn't deserve that shit.
No.
Did he not do that proper thing, as far as communicating it with his bosses, as far as what he was going through? I mean, that's what screwed him. That was a good portion of it, but
Enzo screwed Enzo, hands down.
He did. As goofy as that sounds, it's the truth. But I still don't. He still doesn't deserve what's going on in his personal life. So I hope he's okay.
Yeah, hopefully he gets things cleared and we can see him back in a TNA ring, because we know that WWE is not going to take him back.
I don't even know if Impact would take him at this point. It's going to be a while.
They can use new star power since they don't have Del Rio anymore.
I don't think that would.
Yeah, I know. He's not exactly a big money draw.
There's so many better people out there right now. Oh, just wait a couple months. Impact is going to be turning a lot of heads. So
screw it. You know what? We're going to see Enzo on Lucha Underground just for you.
Okay. I didn't say I wanted that. That's some.
I'm just here to ruin your date. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll talk to Eric Van Wagner about that one. I'll message Krista Joseph, be like, hey, what do you think? He'll probably block me, fucker.
And then I have to be the one to convince him to unblock you.
Be like, I was kidding, Chris. Please unblock me. For the love of Lucha, unblock me.
But yeah, let's move forward.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas, yeah. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the Battle Royals.
Yeah, they were job royals. They were very quick.
Yeah. Woken Matt Hardy won the men's, and Naomi won the women's. It was first ever. It was a cool moment for her. So, I'll say congrats.
It was pretty cool for Matt Hardy, because Bray Wyatt came out and saved the day.
Yeah, and that even extended into Monday Night Raw, because now they are a tag team. And Jeff, there was a really awkward moment backstage. And like I said, we're going to kind of jump back and forth here, so bear with us. That awkward moment tonight where Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy won their tag team match, and then saw Jeff Hardy, the newly comeback, one of the comebacks of the evening, I should say. Almost said newly signed. Whoops. One of the comebacks of the evening, Jeff Hardy passing in the hallway, and it was like, they were like, hey,
Like, what's up?
You didn't return my phone call. Must have been deleted. And Matt was like, yes, it was deleted. I was like, oh God. So apparently we're not going to see the Hardys tagging anytime soon. What do you think of Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy together? Are you sold on this?
I'm going to be honest. Yes, I am. I mean, look at how they put these two against each other. And then they finally did the final deletion at the Hardy compound and threw him in the lake of reincarnation. As soon as I saw him get tossed into that lake, I knew something was going to happen to Bray. I knew they were going to make him into a new man. Who would ever thought that they'd give him an insta face turn? But they were teasing the way he was going to team up with Matt Hardy at live events. So there was hope that this would get over with the fans. The fans wanted just as much as, the creative team did. And I gotta say, hats off to the creative team for doing what they did at Mania, giving Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy their Mania moment. Too bad this is on the pre-show, but like you said, any part of the card, you made it big time. And I'm just happy to see this storyline actually succeed into something, because they could have buried this thing under the water, dug it 6 feet deep, and never to be brought up ever again. But no, they had better ideas, and the handshake and the hug, that right there, that was a tearjerker for me. I'm like, no way. You can feel the energy in the crowd. They're like, yes. There was basically a yes chant going on. I was like, yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, I can't wait to see more of their work on Monday Night Raw. But we have the Superstar Shakeup coming up, so who knows what's going to happen with these two.
Like Cole said, tag teams may be broken up. It's like, come on.
Like, shut up, Cole.
Yeah, it's like, how about we split up the tag team of Michael Cole and his microphone?
Yeah, no shit.
I think if it does go forward and they're going to make it a success, I'm not going to say that they have to make Bray Wyatt look like Matt Hardy with the whole wild hair teased out and the blonde streak, but I think Bray Wyatt does need a facelift.
Shave that beard.
Well, not necessarily, just like he could do like a similar hair thing and do a similar clothing thing. I mean, get rid of the swamp rags, he needs something. He just needs to clean it up, something. He could go back to something similar like he did when he debuted with the Hawaiian shirt and khakis. Something.
I was thinking more like come out dressed up as like a member of Nexus or something.
I'm sure they're gonna have a whole new,
Husky Harris.
Oh damn. Woken Husky. Damn. That's a blast from the past.
You're welcome.
Good old try the pork. Good old little FCW throwback there. Damn. So yeah, very interesting. We have a new Intercontinental champion, excuse me. I always do that. A new Intercontinental champion. Seth Rollins defeated The Miz and Balor. And that was one of the better matches of the evening. Very cool to see Rollins become a Grand Slam champion, just like the rest of his brothers in the Shield. Any thoughts on this match, dude?
Congratulations to Seth Rollins. I mean, now that he's a Grand Slam champion, he and his Shield brothers have all achieved every single piece of gold they have. But here's the problem. Now everybody's becoming Grand Slam champions, and they're doing it in a short amount of time. That's like saying, hey, your career is going to be cut short. So before that happens, we're going to give you all these, entitlements. But they're cool entitlements.
And he may be a transitional champion.
Let's hope so, because he doesn't need the IC title that long.
It was cool though, nonetheless, in the scope of everything going on with Seth, and he's kind of getting a kickstart back to his career because he was injured for so long, and then he was kind of in limbo for a bit with the whole the Shield fallout. Dean was injured. He was in the tag team with Jason Jordan. That was a big, I don't know what the hell you call that. I don't want to call it a mistake because it was entertaining, but it seems like he's kind of coming into his own again, which is nice. But man, how cool is it to have over 70,000 people screaming, "Burn it down"? That was one of the, I should say, top 3 pops of the evening, in my opinion. Oh, there. Now I got you. Did I lose you?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. So yeah, like you said, the 70,000 plus screaming, "Burn it down!" I was like, what? And then of course tonight there was 30,000 people, or 13,000 or whatever.
13, close to 14, yeah.
Yeah, I lost count. 13 equals 30. I don't care.
It was a lot.
But yeah, I did want to see Finn become IC champ though, just for the fact that he needs a Mania moment. But there's always next year.
Yeah, I mean, this was his first Mania too. I mean, this was a first Mania for a lot of people. Probably the biggest first Mania count for anyone and everyone. But yeah, nonetheless, it was interesting how he's. And I'm not going to get deep into this, but it's just interesting how I didn't realize this until the weekend with the new gear and stuff. Now that he's tied to the LG, and I always screw this up. I'm sorry, because I don't say it much, but the whole gay and lesbian community thing. So it's like, oh, okay, all right, that's good for him, I don't think he came out of the closet or anything, and if he did, I missed it. But hey, whatever, they all need an identity and stuff.
The Balor Club is for everyone, and I'm glad the WWE is still supporting the whole LGBT thing. Me being a heterosexual male supporting this type of cause, I mean, I got no problem with it. It's not affecting my lifestyle. It's not like they're coming up and hitting on me saying, hey, you should come to our side of the curtain. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. I'm who I am and you're who you are. We live our lives differently, and I'm not going to discriminate over it. So why should anybody else?
I think it just gives him a bigger audience, honestly.
Yeah, I think he's going to have one of the biggest fan bases because of this. Now the question is, where does Darren Young sit in on all this now since he's been released?
I don't know. You know what? I really have not heard anything about him since his release. I think he's still wrestling. I just never hear about him.
I'm sure he's still out in the indies trying to make a buck here and there. Yeah. It'd be great to see him make a return in the future. I mean, the dude got ripped just in time to make a return. I mean, this guy looked like a wellness violation out the ass, but he looked huge. And knowing him, he probably popped the piss test, and that's why they canned his ass. But
yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you've got
I'm sure he's happy about what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
As long as they're not making a mockery out of it. That's my main concern, because You seen how they did things back in the day, back in the Ruthless Aggression era with Billy and Chuck, and then Charlie.
Yeah,
Go.
They've done all sorts of stuff. Yeah, Attitude Era, the era after that. Even guys like Adrian Street or old school guys like flamboyant like Gorgeous George or whatever. I can't think of it. Was that his name? I'm trying to think of the old school like pre-Flair flamboyant guys.
Yeah, that was Gorgeous George.
Was it Gorgeous George? Okay.
Our Playboy Buddy Roberts.
Yeah, it's been whether they were just playing the part or that was part of their life.
It's gimmick, man. Let me tell you, they live that gimmick and kayfabe for life.
Yeah. Trying to think somebody from like WCW, like, oh, hey, remember Kiwi?
Kiwi.
Yeah. Go Google WCW Kiwi. Get a little chuckle. Anyways, you may not remember, but once you look it up and you look at him, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. He wasn't around very long, but as far as,
I can see why.
Yeah. It is what it is. But anyways, let's keep going with this.
Yes, let's.
You're welcome. It's like, whoa. What did you think about Flair retaining her SmackDown Women's Championship and defeating Asuka and not just retaining the championship, breaking Asuka's 2-year plus long streak? What'd you think of that, dude?
Absolutely shocked. I did not expect to see that happen. It was kind of a quick finish. Asuka tapped out really quick as soon as the figure 8 was locked in. I was expecting her to fight it for as long as possible or pass out in the ring, i.e. Macho Man Randy Savage when he was put in what was it? He was in a figure 4 as well because he was going up against Ric Flair and he was holding back on the pain and he literally passed out in the ring. Now that wasn't at a WrestleMania, but it was at a WWF event.
Who was that?
Ric Flair versus Macho Man.
Oh, damn. I do not remember that.
Yeah, I remember it well because I was at the event and Macho Man was
oh, there you go.
Macho Man was put in a figure 4. It was in the middle of the ring. And you know how crazy Macho Man is. He won't tap for anybody. So what does he do? He literally passes out in the ring and the ref is counting 3.
Wow.
That's what they should have did with Asuka. They should have had her pass out in the middle of the ring and sell, the figure.
Because then she never gave up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Making her submit, they made her look seriously weak in this match. They made her too vulnerable is what I'm looking for. I want to say invincible, but then that means she would have won this match. But yeah, that ending was kind of like, what? And I was on Discord with a couple friends talking about this match, and I blinked for like 2 seconds, and I see the bell, or I hear the bell ringing, and I'm like, wait a minute, what did I just miss? And there it was. She was tapping. I was like, no way. You're a winner and still SmackDown Live Women's Champion Charlotte. And I'm like, no, yes, but no. I mean, I'm glad they used Charlotte as the streak breaker, but this is where you're put between that rock and a hard place because you want to see Charlotte retain, but you don't want to see Asuka lose the streak. So you're in a lose-lose situation. One person has to win, and that's where the betting odds were all off. As soon as that streak ended, all bets were off.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I was shocked, but I'm glad it happened when it did. It's like if you're gonna if you're gonna break the streak, do it on the biggest stage of them all. Don't do it on a SmackDown. You know, save it for something big, and they did. You know, so. But I mean, it was still a decent match. You know, props to both women, and you know, and it really doesn't take anything away from Asuka. Asuka's still a hell of a performer. Doesn't mean she's going to go on this 150 plus match losing streak like someone else we know.
Yeah. If by him you mean, yeah, that guy? Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Pick me, Braun.
Oh, man. Dude, he's just, you know. Did he even make it to Mania?
No. He did not.
I thought he was in the Battle Royal. I'd have to go back and look and see everybody, because there were even people saying that Mike Bennett wasn't in there. And it's like, yeah, he was. Mike Kanellis, excuse me. Mike Kanellis was in the match. I did see him briefly.
I didn't see him at all.
Yeah, I mean, his wife had the baby last week. He had a baby with his wife had the baby about a week after Miz and Maurice had theirs. So he literally had the kid, prepped for Mania, and left. So I give him a lot of, you know, props for doing that, because, you know, that's got to be hard. You know, you want to be there for your kid, spend time, and then it's like, no, I got to go to work. So, but hey, someone's got it, right? You know, it's got to do what you got to do. So, but nonetheless, congrats to Mr. and Mrs. Bennett / Kanellis on that. Jinder Mahal defeats Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and pins Rusev, ruining Rusev Day, dude.
Rusev Mania has been ruined.
They killed the Rusev. They deleted Rusev Day.
Did you see the tweet that Jinder put out? He was like, first order is deleting Rusev Day. So that means we're going to see a face turn tomorrow night for Rusev. I mean, he's already a face in everyone's eyes being over the way he is, but
oh, dude, yeah. he's over like Rover, you know, and especially oh hell, his sidekick even shaved his head. Aiden English.
Yeah, I was curious why Cesaro was out there 2 times last night.
Damn. No, it looks good though, because I mean he was really starting to lose it on top, you know, and I'm no one to talk, you know. That's why I do what I do.
I joined the club.
So just sometimes, you know, they do shit in the WWE and you scratch your head and you're like, why? And it's, but you know, maybe it's, you know, I understand having Jinder Mahal win. He's had a hell of a past year. So I don't want to discount everything he's accomplished, because it has made him a higher level performer. You know, he's not just strumming tunes with the other 2 guys. You know, he's a different star now.
Yeah.
So, you know, congrats to him. He had his Mania moment, you know, so I'll give him that. Hell, you want to think about it. Rusev drove a flipping tank into WrestleMania a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You can't shake a stick at that. You can't beat that. So as much as people, I think, wanted Rusev to win, hey, you know, he had that WrestleMania moment when he faced Cena.
Cena, yep.
So yeah, nonetheless, you know, whether you like Mahal or not, respect him or not, congrats to him. You know, it is what it is. We'll see what happens on SmackDown tomorrow night. We got next here. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey defeating Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Dude, Triple H didn't even show up on Raw tonight to help his wife, the commish.
Yeah, I guess Triple H want to face the embarrassment of losing to Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey last night, so he took the night off.
Getting his ass handed to him by a girl half his size.
And I was amazed at how well she moved in that match. I was stunned. I did not expect her to move at all.
Are you talking about Rousey or are you talking about Stephanie McMahon? Because Stephanie McMahon, for as choreographed as this match probably was, I got to give props to Steph too, man, because she did a great job of selling and moving in the ring to, to help. I mean, Ronda's no, 15-year vet in the ring. Okay. She's a very talented female MMA artist who became a professional wrestler. So a lot of this probably was easy to her, but she had to learn how to do this and not kill people,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll give props to both for Ronda having her first match and Steph having her first. Was this Stephanie McMahon's first Mania match?
No. I'd have to go back into where is it? It's right here. Let me pull it out for you. No, not that. I'm gonna have to watch this right here. The complete
excuse me while I whip this out. What?
The WWE anthology from WrestleMania 1 all the way to WrestleMania 21. I believe she's in one match in there somewhere. I could be wrong, but I will put a lot of time into watching these DVDs again.
There you go.
I love wrestling. I live for it. I haven't been a big fan lately, but after watching this past weekend, it kind of brought me back into reality that, hey, you should be that fan still. And I just go from there.
Oh, I hear you, man. Yeah, it's all good. But nonetheless, to be on this big a stage in this big a match, I think you could almost call it a first for her. And Kurt looked great too. He really did. I felt like he did a great job, helping Rousey, and he looked decent against Trips. He was moving all right. He stays in shape. He's not the 1999 or year 2000 Kurt Angle or whatever the year it was when they debuted or whatever. But he's still good.
Yeah.
We got new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions.
That was a squash match.
It was. It basically was, and I'm okay with that. As much as I wanted these guys to have like a 20-minute long throwdown. I mean, if the Bludgeon Brothers weren't there, that's what we would have gotten. But the Bludgeon Brothers were there to destroy everyone and anyone. Hell, I think they even knocked off Xavier Woods' fro. It's somewhere in the third row still.
Which you can get on shop.wwe.com right now.
It could be on the what the hell? What do they call that? The auction page. Might be on the auction page. Go look it up.
I'm not.
I could use it, but anyways, I'd look damn good with a fro, I think. That's my producer, but he's not very. Anyways, but yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers kicked everybody's ass. They are the new tag team champions, dude. It's so good to see Harper and Rowan with some some gold. You know what I'm saying?
Deserve gold.
But you know what I mean. Finally get some recognition that they've been around. They were with the Wyatts back in NXT, 6 years ago? And they were NXT Tag Team Champions back then, and it took them this long to get some Tag Team Championships?
Yeah.
And it's been a couple injuries, and they were with the Wyatts, then they had some, hey, let's split them up and make singles. No, stop that. Stop overthinking shit. It's don't get me wrong. I'm happy Harper was an Intercontinental Champion for a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys are monsters. Now they just need to take off the Crocus 1984 stage wear, and we'll be good. All right. Go look up the video for Screaming in the Night. You know what I'm talking about. Every time they come down to the ring, I hear Screaming in the Night in the back of my head. That's a sickness. It's a thing. And speaking of squash matches, holy balls, The Undertaker defeated John Cena.
Cena was drunk.
Cena, he was drinking beer in the front row. Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
I'm sure it was non-alcoholic, but he did a good job, selling the match and botching a couple things here and there. If you saw the big boot where he completely missed his cue and he just landed on purpose.
It was by about that far, yeah.
Yeah, the 3-foot miss. Good job, drunk Cena. Everyone noticed it. But hey, it was still good to watch The Undertaker return. He got his vengeance on John Cena after all the shit talking that he's been doing for the last several months.
I mean, I'll give them this. They really, the whole spectacle of everything that they did from start to finish was actually longer than the match itself, which is hilarious. But the fact that they put the spotlight in the ring and his stuff was appearing back in the ring where he left it a year ago, that right there was like, oh shit, we are getting. Well, see, as soon as they showed that and then it disappeared, I was like, wait, does that mean that Taker's gonna wear it now? Or does that mean that it was there, now it's gone? Cue the Kid Rock American Badass song. Yeah, which we found out later that Kid Rock wasn't even there. He's got his own rock and roll, heavy metal, debauchery, whatever cruise that he's hosting. So he showed up for the Hall of Fame, accepted it, and the cruise that he's doing is literally less than a day away from now. So he had to go take care of logistics and finalize everything before it kicked off. So that's why he wasn't at Mania. So as much as I wanted that for him to do American Badass and have Harley riding Taker come down to the ring, it is what it is. So the question is now, was that Taker's last match?
No, I don't think so. The way he moved, I think he's ready for more matches. I think he and Cena are going to carry a feud into SummerSlam.
Wow.
Forget whatever pay-per-view is next and the pay-per-view after that. As a matter of fact, let me take a look at the pay-per-views in between now to SummerSlam.
Well, I know Backlash is next. What I was trying to think of was, because my head is just rattled, was Cena even there tonight?
No, I did not see him. Which means we could see him next week.
Or he could show up on SmackDown because he continued everything on SmackDown. I can't remember because I'm just, I'm horrible.
Okay, so Backlash is a Raw pay-per-view.
No, it's actually all the pay-per-views going forward are dual branded.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
After Mania. Well, what about Payback? They didn't even talk about Payback.
I don't.
Backlash.
I don't think there is going to be a Payback.
Then they need to take it off the card, off the list.
I'm sure that'll happen. But
we still got Great Balls of Fire up there too.
Yeah, that ain't coming back. Goodness gracious, get that shit out of here. Oh my goodness. All right. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Cena. Well, Cena's got a pretty full plate too. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Cena for a while either, but we'll see. I just think it was hilarious that John Cena was, drinking beer and sitting next to not so pretty Nikki Bella in the front row there. That was hilarious. Pregnant too. My goodness, that Nikki Bella is really taking a turn for the worse. Did you see that woman? Oh, she looked rough.
No, I wasn't even paying that much attention.
Yeah, man. Go back and look at the pictures of him sitting there, drinking beer and the woman next to him. So somebody was telling me that's not Nikki Bella. I don't know. I think it was Nikki Bella. I think she's just, she's looking rough. Cena might need to move on. But all right. Let's see here. Daniel Bryan making his in-ring return with Shane McMahon defeating Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Owens and Zayn showing up on Monday Night Raw tonight, looking for a job, a job.
Yes, they were.
And neither one of them could get the job done. That's hilarious.
But hey, I heard TNA's hiring.
The fact that Kurt said that and they allowed him to do that. I mean, I don't know if he just said that on a whim or if it was. I'm sure we're gonna hear about it tomorrow, But damn, that was funny. That was hilarious, But hey, people would say, "Oh, that's a cut on Impact." It's like, no, it's really not. Impact's doing well. They're rebuilding, but they're kicking ass and taking names. They're doing crossover stuff in the business now that WWE wouldn't even think of doing right now. So just the fact that they were mentioned is a plus.
Yeah, that helped them out a little bit. But here's the thing. How many people are going to tune in to Pop? You're going to have to watch Impact from Twitch TV just to see what's going on in the world.
Well, if people want to know what's going on, all they got to do is go look at that crossover event that happened before Mania, or I should say before NXT.
Oh, yeah. Impact versus Lucha.
Dude, that was
amazing.
To me, excuse me. Dude, to me, that was in a lot of ways better than Mania. As far as just like, wow, they put these two guys together, because it was all firsts, so just, yeah, it may not have had the spectacle of Mania and 70,000 people, but there was a lot of cool shit that went on in there. So yeah, I'm telling you, if you haven't checked, and I've been saying this for a while now, if you haven't checked out Impact Wrestling and you want to see some damn good wrestling from this past weekend, go check out that crossover event, Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling. It's the start of many awesome things to come for that company, and I can't wait to see what's next. That's all I gotta say. But how good did Daniel Bryan look?
Oh, he looked phenomenal.
All crumpled up, laying next to the stretcher on the side of the ring.
He did what he had to do, man. But I was actually surprised to see. This is where I was wrong. I was expecting Shane to lose or Daniel Bryan to turn or vice versa, and none of that happened. It was straight up them just taking the victory and firing, Zayn and Owens. And you're the one that caught it right off the bat. That same, Zayn and Owens were they were going to head over to Raw as soon as they lose their match.
Did I say that? I don't remember saying that. I guess I said that.
You were sober.
Dude, I talked about so much shit this weekend. I don't even remember.
You said that you'd like to see them head over to Raw as soon as they lose. So
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, and we've got the big thing coming up next week with the whole. Well, they couldn't even get the job done tonight on Raw. They got the big count out. So yeah, who knows? You know, or maybe this is the start of a big crossover thing between WWE and Impact Wrestling. Nah. That'll never happen. I say give it 5 years, it'll happen. The way the business is going now. The fans will demand it. So yeah. I'm sure Shane's gonna be gone for quite a while, getting some much needed R&R and surgery to repair that hernia.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nia Jax destroyed Alexa Bliss. They had a good match, though.
See, this is where I missed out on everything, and I had to watch the highlights today. I gotta say, congrats to Nia. You know, you've overcome all the obstacles in the WWE. People, you know, they were pretty much down on you because you were green, not because you're a big girl.
Well, it was that too. It was everything, you know. And yeah, I mean, has she grown as a performer over the last couple of years from NXT till now? Yeah, you know.
I mean, I think her call up to the roster was one of the worst decisions they made, but it built her. It built her strong. It built her hard. And I'm not saying this because, you know, she's related to The Rock. Has nothing to do with blood. This has to do with her using her personality, you know, creating a character that is the irresistible force. And last night she was the immovable object against Alexa Bliss, and there was nothing that could be said to stop that. Not even Mickey James could do anything about it. So
yeah,
but
yeah, and you know she and it continued tonight a little bit, you know, so it's gonna obviously go where you know Bliss is gonna try to get her revenge, get her title back. There'll be you know, she'll get a shot to get her championship back. But in the process of that, and this is where I'm going to shift gears and kind of jump into Raw a little bit too, going back and forth. We got the debut of Ember Moon tonight on Monday Night Raw. What'd you think of that, dude?
I caught the near end of this match, but from what I did see, she worked phenomenal against Alexa Bliss in the ring. Hitting that top, or what was that, like a somersault stunner?
That's her finisher, dude. She's got a badass finisher. She even gave Alexa Bliss, it was either a busted lip or a bloody nose, one of the two.
I mean, that was like one of the sickest finishers I've ever seen in my life. And like I said, I hardly pay attention to NXT, so I don't get to see that move often. But more than likely this coming Wednesday, I'm gonna. Well, I can't, it's gonna be useless watching NXT now because she's not on the card. So
Well,
I have to watch it on Raw.
She may be in the last set of tapings, you know, in trying to get her title back. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. They don't always do that, but we'll see.
But yeah, hats off to Ember Moon for making it to the main roster. You've made it. You've done it. Impress the world with what you can do. Just hopefully the WWE doesn't, you know, water her down from her NXT performance to the Raw and SmackDown style of things.
Yeah. Hey, we got a new subscriber, Ronnie. Thanks for subbing, man. Appreciate it. Let's see here. What'd you think of Stylez versus Nakamura and the heel turn of Nakamura to boot?
Wow. That low blow still hurts me.
Especially the replay. It's like, don't play it again. No.
Yeah, watching that over and over and over, I kind of saw the heel turn coming from a mile away after the last SmackDown where AJ patted him on his head and he got really pissed off. That was the start of his heel turn.
Yeah, we haven't seen Nakamura really pissed off, have we? He's been pretty laid back, and he's been a little snarky, and he's still charismatic, especially in his entrances. But we haven't seen him really mad. So yeah.
Now we're going to see the King of Strong Style really come into play now, and I'm going to feel bad for the face side of the roster who's going to have to go up against him. You got guys like Ty Dillinger definitely going to pay for it. Who else is on the SmackDown roster? You got Breezango. I'm sure they're going to get a singles run against him. Not the Usos. The Usos won't have anything to do with Shinsuke. But mainly anybody who's a jobber on the SmackDown Live roster, unless they shift him over to Raw in this Superstar Shakeup next week, which I hope not.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I think either Styles or Nakamura is going to go. But with as loaded as the roster is now, all you got to move is a handful of people, and it'll really, it'll shake things up.
Yeah.
Can't I thought they were going to call it the draft. Can't call it the draft anymore, I guess, or something. I don't know. I think Vince just practices saying shit in his office as loud as he can in that Vince McMahon voice.
Damn it, I'm going to do the Superstar Shakeup and there's nothing you can do about it.
The Superstar Shakeup. He does that and he goes, "Oh God, yeah, I gave myself a boner. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah." And then, Trips just goes, "I'm out of here, going back to my office." And Vince goes, Wait, where are you going? Look at it. It's huge, Anyways, no, that really happened. No, that did. I didn't see it. I just heard about it. Oh shit! But I still have no doubt that Nakamura is going to become WWE champion. I'll say sooner than later, even with the shakeup going on.
Yeah, he is self-deserving of a title run. I just can't believe they took it out from under him, just like they did with Asuka. And I pay attention to the internet, and they're like, "Wow, the Asian community really got shit on last night."
Yeah, and that's just, and I don't think they did. That's just trolls trying to be trolls.
But they put on 5-star type matches. It was great.
They had championship matches at WrestleMania. Whether you won or lost, you made it. Like I said, you made it to the dance. It doesn't matter. They made their mark. It's awesome, and they've got so many more to go. Assuming they stay healthy, They, like I said, so many people made their debut at Mania as far as their first Mania match this year. It was ridiculous. It had to be like 24 people or more getting their first match at Mania this year. If you count all the even the pre-show matches, Let's see here. We'll quick go through this because it's getting late. Strowman and a 10-year-old defeating Sheamus and Cesaro. A lot of people scratching their heads about this, and of course, Strowman and Nicholas relinquished their tag team championships tonight, which made people even. I don't know if people were pissed about that or if they were scratching their heads even more. I understand that sometimes Mania is about creating moments, and I think people forget that.
Yeah, they created a moment for a 10-year-old.
Yeah, and whether he's a ref's kid or whatever, it also created moments. I mean, it just everybody watching had their own moment through that kid, you know, whether you loved it or hated it. It was cool that I think it was cool that they did something like that. It was, hey, it was unexpected for everyone that thought it was going to be Hulk Hogan or Big Cass or Samoa Joe or Jeff Hardy or any number of people healthy or debut comebacks, whatever. Yeah, they swerved everyone on that. What did you think? What did you think about that? Were you pissed at that? Were you just scratching your head? What did you think, man?
I just took it for what it was. We made our picks prior to this in the prediction show, and I forget exactly who I picked, but we all lost in that.
I think we did.
But we also became winners because we got to see one little kid, a fourth grader, win a WWE title, which is now, I'm sure he's in the WWE alumni because he won the gold and now he got featured endeavored.
Nicholas. Well, he had, scheduling conflicts. So.
Yeah, I'm going to their page right now.
Just how serious Braun Strowman was, how he did that with Nicholas at his side. He's like, Nicholas can't do this right now. He's got scheduling conflicts and can't do the schedule or whatever, however he said it. I laughed so hard. I'm like, is that how they're doing this? Oh, hell no.
Yeah, they don't even have Nicholas up on the WWE webpage right now. He's nowhere to be found. So yeah, he must have popped on some Flintstone vitamins and got released from his contract.
It's messed up. It's messed up.
Sorry, Nick.
Man,
how could you do it?
Fire that ref too. Damn. No. Let's see here. And last but certainly not least of the Mania card, Lesnar. It was such a hot mess. Lesnar defeats Roman, and then in the process of all the dirt sheets, news pages, whatever you want to call them, talking about last night's event and stuff trickling out about a fight going on backstage. Then after all that, it's reported that Lesnar resigns, and they already made the main event for the 50-man battle royal event in Saudi Arabia. The cage match between Roman Reigns getting a shot again and Brock Lesnar. It's like, well, I don't know what the hell kind of fight went on backstage, but Lesnar's headlining again. So I don't know. I really don't know what to think about that.
Yeah.
I think there's such better things going on in WWE right now than Lesnar being champ. Let me tell you that much. What did you think about all that stuff?
Roman deserves the title. I'm sorry. He's a workaholic. He's the new Rock of this generation. People love him and hate him. Back in the 90s, we had the Die Rocky Die. We have the same thing going on for Roman Reigns. People just can't stand the guy because he's forced down our throats. Who gives a shit anymore? Yeah, I'd rather see him perform 24/7 than see a part-timer coming in, stiffen shots, and only learn how to do suplexes every now and then. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Brock. You busted the man open. There was a no blood rule at WrestleMania and NXT. There was supposed to be no blood unless it was accidental. And Lars was the only exception because of a ladder mishap. This right here with Brock, what he did to Roman, he just literally just started elbowing him. And he did the same thing to him like he did to Randy Orton at SummerSlam a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was hard. I don't know if because they had the camera off of Roman for a long time. I haven't heard anything about
way
this
he
yet.
bled. Did you see the way he bled? That was profusely. He
Oh,
looked like he was even alive after that.
it was worse than Flair.
There was no blade needed. I mean, this was straight up. I'm going to deliver an elbow from hell, and you're going to take it. And don't get me started with Vince being furious about it. He fell asleep through half of WrestleMania, the same way we fall asleep watching 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. So if we're not allowed to sleep, neither are you, old man.
Damn.
I don't give a damn how old you are. I'm going to be in my 80s still watching your product.
Oh, yeah. Banging on the door. Hire so-and-so. Take this walker straight up your candy ass.
I'm still going to be shooting on the damn company because it still sucks here and there.
So yeah, it's crazy. I'm kind of over the whole. I mean, I love Roman. You know, I'll give him props. He's one of the hardest working guys day in and day out. I have a lot of respect for Roman. I think he should be champion because at least he'll have a champ that's around as opposed to showing up, you know, once a year, or whatever, you know. But yeah, I mean, I hope he takes it in Saudi Arabia. That'd be great. If not, I have not heard any details. It has not been released yet from what I've heard as far as what the extension or re-signing clause is with Lesnar. As far as how long, I don't even want to know, really. I'm scared to know. Because if we got it for like another like 5 years, damn. All I gotta say is, Lesnar, man, you better hit the gym because you looked like shit last night. He was like dad bod flabby. He looked like hell. I mean, I'm no you know, Richard Simmons, but damn, he looked like shit. Triple H made him look like shit. Crazy. Let's see. Oh shoot. Did I lose Stylez? No, you there?
I'm here.
You're there. Okay. All right. So let's talk about just a couple highlights from Raw. Let's talk about some debuts. I'm not going to run over the whole thing because I'm tired. It's late. I know it's late for you. The first one we already mentioned, Ember Moon making her debut. That was nice to see. No Way Jose made his main roster debut.
Adam Rose 2.0.
Yeah, I was waiting for people to start throwing lemons at him. Oh shit. You know, and I haven't seen him in such a long time because he was over as hell with the NXT crowd. But then he got injured or something. I don't even remember what his injury was. And even when he was healthy again, they weren't bringing him back on television. I don't know why. So I was actually, I mean, not trying to hate on the guy, but I was expecting them to release him because he hasn't had a match on a main show, like a takeover, in I can't remember when. 6 months more? It's got to be more than that.
After a while, they have no use for you, so they just put you in the back and expect you to, you know, come up with content for them for, you know, your character plus your matches.
So, I mean, I hope he doesn't become another Ty Dillinger who's like never on TV because the main roster is already so loaded. But
well, with the way that they got all these NXT or fans or super fans, whatever you want to call them, coming to the ring, dancing around, I expect him to be on TV for at least a month before Vince gives up on his character.
I don't know. Maybe the conga line got him excited. Maybe Vince was actually, doing a conga line backstage with all the production guys. That's all I can hope for, I guess.
Probably the only thing to keep him awake right now since he falls asleep during WrestleMania.
Someone give Vince a 5-hour energy and a Red Bull or so. I don't know. Let's see. Jeff Hardy came back. Good to see Jeff Hardy. He is not woken yet. So, he's not going to be part of that whole army. I'm sure he will someday, but, I'm excited to see what he could do as a solo performer. He was in the main event tonight, helping out Seth Rollins and Finn Balor against the Miz Taraj and Miz. So it was already announced that Samoa Joe is going to be in that match, which is great for Samoa Joe. But if that's in 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks or whatever, and, I was like, well, shoot, stick Jeff Hardy in that mix. If you're going to start having him tag with the IC champion, give him a shot at the IC belt again. At least I think he's been IC. Oh, man, it's been so long since Jeff Hardy's held a singles championship in the WWE. Jeez Louise. But nonetheless, good that he's back. He got a hell of a pop.
Yeah, he did.
But I'll tell you who got pretty much pop of the night for a comeback, in my opinion, was former Impact Wrestling four-time champ, Mr. Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, that was actually a surprise seeing him come up. But I mean, it's been rumored for a while now, so they were waiting for the right moment.
I would say that was pretty the quietest, the one that was kept quiet the most, with the exception of in production, which is like the production tables out in the crowd as far as queuing up screens and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone saw that tonight, like an hour before it happened, took a picture of it and put it up on social media to spoil it.
Yeah. So, of course, the WWE probably found out about that leaked tweet. And they're like, I guess we got to do it now, damn it.
Well, no, I'm sure they had it ready for tonight. That's why they had it queued up. But
yeah,
it sucked that a few people saw it beforehand like me. So whatever. It is what it is. I'm still excited about it. He's in great shape. Do I think he's actually going to have a feud with Elias? No. But, hey, whatever.
Elias was just there to get destroyed, dominated, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that was just to get a pop, But then again, you never know. Tag team debuting from NXT, former NXT Tag Team Champions, Authors of Pain.
Congrats and welcome to the main roster. May you have a successful run. Tag team division stacked right now.
Yeah. Few new tag teams between the Woken one. I don't know what the hell they're going to call Hardy and Wyatt. The Woken ones. I don't know. The Woken Swamp Buddies or something. I don't know. But the Authors of Pain defeating former. They made a big point of this too. They were the first SmackDown Live tag team champions, Slater and Rhino. I think it's time to split up those guys.
Yeah, let Rhino, let him go back to Detroit and do what he does best, and that's help run the city.
Right. I love Rhino, but
he's not the Rhino we knew back in the 90s and early 2000s. He's a completely different guy now. He's a politic. He's another Kane. And I got nothing against politics, as long as they run a certain area right and they provide for the people. So best of luck in your future endeavors.
Yeah, it is what it is. it's neither here nor there. It's like, hey, he's doing what he's doing. He's fighting for a cause, you know.
Yep.
Samoa Joe came back, and that's pretty much it. What would you say was like your highlight out of like this whole I mean, we've still got some stuff to come tomorrow night, I'm sure, as well. But what do you think, in your opinion, was like your favorite match or moment or whatever? What did you pop the most for? What did you dig the most out of all the events?
Of all the events, I marked out for NXT more than I did Mania, more than I did the Raw after Mania. You know, the indie guy in me sees an event like this, which gets treated like it's an independent show. They get the spotlight. They get plenty of time to go out there and destroy their bodies. You know, they get to physically and mentally abuse themselves, which is, God forbid, awesome. You know, they don't do what you see on the WrestleMania card anymore. You know, you don't get to see the self-destruction all the time. You know, it's not like the Attitude Era, where if you watch the Attitude Era, you would understand. But they put on clinics back in them days, and that's exactly what NXT is trying to do. It's trying to remnant off of an old era. Plus, it's throwing in some ruthless aggression. It's got an independent style, like I said. It's got nothing but indies guys now. So NXT is growing and growing and growing by the day.
And they're going to grow even more soon, considering all the people that made pardon the pun, an impact at Access. All the people
they're hiring,
had,
by the way.
Damn. But yeah, I mean, Keith Lee, I think Walter even had a match at NXT Access. Some guys from Progress, like Travis Banks. I mean, all sorts of people, you know, making themselves known and getting, if you call it tryout, whatever you want to call it, you know, it's, man, I wish I could have been there to seen some of that stuff. I would have loved to have seen Cassius Ohno versus Keith Lee, because Keith Lee's first match and Chris Hero's final match was in the same night against each other, and now they had one this past Mania weekend at WrestleMania Access. So, folks, we're going to see Keith Lee in under the helm of WWE sooner than later, I think, thanks to the back door of Evolve.
Yeah.
I'd say my favorite was, I'd say the latter match of NXT. As far as WWE stuff, the whole Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling show was phenomenal, top to bottom, just because it was, you know, like I said, no one else is doing that. Other than like Billy Corgan shipping his champ Nick Aldis all over the place, defending his champion all over the world, literally right now. Other than that, you know, that's the only other example of that. But yeah, I'd say as far as the under the WWE umbrella of the weekend, I'd say that ladder match.
Absolutely.
Oh, Stylez, what? You got something stuck there?
Puberty problems.
Puberty problems? Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap up this one. Did you get that unstuck there? You okay, man?
Yeah, I think I'm doing all right.
Oh my goodness. I think you caught a virus.
Oh.
call you.
I'm here all night, folks.
We'll call you C3 Styles or R2D CM or no, that's
CM3PO. I have no freaking clue.
or how about Darth Styles?
Come on, man. Come on.
Oh, it's just gonna get worse. All right, man. We'll wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to split this up over the course of the weekend, but that's what happens when you watch just too much damn wrestling and you want to like review it all. It just doesn't work out sometimes. Life
Yeah, there
happens.
was like what, 17 hours of wrestling, TNA, WWE, ROH. I mean, there was and House of Hardcore, just like you said. That's a lot of content in one weekend. You just gotta crunch in to several hours of your time.
There's an echo in here, dude.
Oh, there is.
Yes, there was. But like I said, there was a lot of content, and we covered just about everything in under 2 hours.
Yeah, I've got about 9 more hours of stuff to watch from stuff that I caught from another source. We'll just say that. I'm probably not going to review it on here, but it's stuff I want to see. I want to catch the Ring of Honor stuff and a couple other things that happened over the course of WrestleCon weekend. So we'll see. But if it's good, I'll cue you in on it. So yeah, for this guy, CM Styles, thank you so much for joining me in this.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Damn. Good night, folks. We'll see you. We'll try to do one tomorrow night.
Y'all have a good one, as J Burn says. Good night.
We'll see you tomorrow night, folks.